All right, today it's a special commentary on a match between Kit Woolsey and Ian Terry at the Los Angeles Open 2023, and I am joined by one of the participants, my friend Ian Terry. Hello, Ian.
Hey, Alex, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Thank you for joining us. So I'm excited to go through this post-match. We'll go through the match, and then you can talk about it. How was it playing him before we begin?
Oh, man. I mean, I knew it was going to be a tough draw because they told me during the dinner break I was going to be on stream. So I knew it was somebody really good, and Kid is obviously very strong. So I knew I had my work cut out for me.
Yeah, obviously he's one of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and start. Here we go. So it's an 11-point match. And we're playing on the FTH board. Ian opens with a 5-2 splitting. And let me just make sure we've got it at the regular speed. There we go.
Yeah. So I like the 5-2 split. A lot of people don't like it because of 5-5 double hitting, but I think it's fun.
It's correct. And 5-4 for Kit. He splits. And now a double 2.
Yeah, so this one I knew to make the 4 immediately. The other two weren't 100% clear because I could have made the opponent's 22 as well, but I figured that with him slotting my 5, I figured that this was a good idea.
Yeah. And he counters with the double 2, making his 20 and his 4-point. And now 6-5 here. So you have a choice to run from either of the back ones.
I generally say I would run with the more forward one, and it also goes to a safe spot, so seems reasonable.
Yeah. 4-1 for Kit.
So not his best. I don't remember what he does here. I guess got the one guy back, so maybe there's a little bit of so he just goes for that, and I assume that's the right play.
Yeah. Double 6.
So I think here I guess I make the bar and then make the 2. Is that what I do? Don't exactly remember. I think that's the right idea. If I step out with the guy, there's just a lot of spare checkers on the 8 that are kind of aiming at it, and he wants to try to unload that. So I figured it was best to just take the points in front of him and go with that.
Yeah. And for the viewers that are watching, the camera from the live streaming is on the very right with Ian on the top and Kit to the bottom. And we're just to the left of that. Ian's above me. And on the feed, Ian is playing the white checkers at the top and Kit the black checkers at the bottom. Now he rolls a 3-2. He plays 8-6 and 13-10.
Yep. So he kind of smooths out his spare distribution.
Yeah.
So 5-5 doesn't move the back checker like I'd want. Now I think I start to look at the wrong play, and then I kind of realized I can do something a little bit more constructive by making the 3 and then just playing to the ace point.
Yeah, I see that. So you're looking at this one, and for the viewers in this tournament, the dice on checkers count.
Yes.
Which I kind of like that, especially on the flat checkers.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good rule. Yeah, this is just much more constructive. It doesn't like get rid of the point that's blocking him in on the 20. So 6-5.
6-5.
Is it that he does? Does he just go in and down? Because I think I remember he rolls aces and gets a 5' in on me. So here I roll, I think, but I kind of realize there's nothing here. 5-2. So make the ace. It's already slotted. May as well make it. And then I step up just to kind of maybe get a little bit of air.
Yeah, you want to get out.
Yep.
Now double 1.
So now, yeah, this is like a really good shot for him. So he just makes the 5'. Like
yeah, he could point on head, but
yeah, I mean, I think that the 5' just it seems pretty strong because not only does he get the 5 prime, he's gonna have the spares left over
Yeah,
on the 8 and the 6, so he
And
can
he-
always extend it.
unstacks the 8 points.
Yeah.
too. Otherwise, you would lose
Yeah.
the big stack. Now, Ian has a double 3. Not a great roll. You'd like a
Good.
6, but brings in 2.
Yep.
Okay.
There's just nothing else to do with the roll, and I believe I end up facing a cube here. So I know in my mind, I definitely didn't want to be cubed. I was hoping that he would kind of roll through it. But no such luck. I'm kind of looking at him like, please don't cube me. And he's thinking hard about it. I know it's
28 to 120, 124, I believe.
I know I'm ahead in the race.
By
Just on crossover, like crossover count alone. Way ahead. Not way ahead, but pretty decently ahead. So I know I have to take. And I've been thinking about it as it came, or as he was thinking about it. And I kind of realized it's just you have to take. And that's it. You're not on the bar. He's got a couple crushers, but he doesn't always roll them. So
Now he rolls a 6-2.
yeah, so this is like not exactly what he had hoped for, but it's still decent. I mean, he gets to bring a checker down into the zone for building. And it really puts a lot of pressure on me to roll a 6 out and get moving. So
Biggest threat was something like a 5-1 to knock you off the edge of the prime, but he couldn't
yes,
do that. Now, if you roll a 6, it's good.
and
you
I do.
It's a
Yes,
6-3,
right out.
so clearly out.
Yep, that part is for sure. And I think I consider my 3s here, and I think this is what I end up going with. Is this right?
So this is only 2 numbers with a 6-5.
Yes,
The other
and
way
this is
is
correct.
8. So 6 numbers, 3 times as many numbers to hit.
Yeah. So this ends up being right. And I figured that for that exact reason, right? It's just 6-5 only. So now here's where I end up kind of dropping the ball a little bit. I know for a fact this is actually a recube, and I just kind of roll through it. 5-3 is like perfect too. It cleans it up, brings it right to the 8. And I'm sort of mentally preparing myself to get the recube out there, sort of counting and pondering it, just verifying that I have what I need. And I think I also am kind of realizing I probably should have considered this the turn before. And I eventually just give him the cube. Yeah. And I don't think he takes too long on it. I think he lets it go quick.
Yeah, you're up by a lot.
Yeah, big pass.
So now, Ian, you're up 2-0 in a match to 11. I always talk to people about the away score being more important than the absolute score.
Yes.
In this case,
Yes.
it's 2-0 in a match to 11, but in a match, your goal is to win a certain number of predetermined points. In this case, it's 11, and now you're 9 away from that goal, and Kit is 11 away. So you're ahead 9 away, 11 away. Kit rolls an opening 2-1 slots.
Yep. And all I'm thinking is if I can hit, I'd like to do that. But otherwise, I'm saying, okay, well, now he's probably going to make that point. So I just need to come up so that I don't get primed in.
For money, that's right, with 8-5 instead of 13-10.
Oh, interesting.
Now he rolls a
It
6-1.
is right. Yeah.
I'm sure. Oh, there's my son in the background. He's saying hello.
Right. Yeah, there you are.
He was, oh, now he's on your side.
So yeah, this is a nice play.
Yep.
Gets things moving, makes the
cover.
point. Yeah.
I didn't realize that until just seeing it now. 4-2. He had a good time at the tournament. So 4-2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I considered hitting off the bar point here, but I figured the structure is fine.
Yeah. And being outboarded 2-1.
Yep.
And now 2-1 for Kit.
Yeah, not so swift here. I think he just makes it and
Oh, there's saying hello again.
Yeah.
He had
And you
Fun
get
time.
the rare kit laugh, which is
Yeah.
nice. So I'm just rolling here. 4-4 is like pretty nice. Pretty good number. I think I end up, how do I do this?
You make the 2-point from the 10.
I think so. Yes, and that is the right play. Yep, good play.
And then Kit rolls a 3-1.
So
Another
not
productive number.
particularly good. He just makes that. Yep.
It's the 10-point, blocking the 6s, although he can hit with 6s.
Yep.
But a blocking point is good.
I think I'm just kind of shaking the dice, surveying the scene. I think I double hit here.
Not yet. You rolled a 5-1.
Yep. So I kind of recognize
Right.
I've got the better board, and I see the blot outside. So I feel like if he doesn't come in, it's just time for the cube. I've got enough pointing at him that I can definitely give the cube here.
You have some threats, but you can only come out with 5s and 3s in the back, and some of those numbers are actually good on the front.
Yes, exactly. So I wasn't sure, when I was thinking about this. I feel like I had the harder decision here. And I kind of am seeing with my hands the same numbers that cover or do productive things, or the same ones that are good on the other side. So I kind of mull it over, and I do give the cube here. And I think he passes, if I remember right. And I remember being kind of surprised that he let it go. Yeah, so I give it. And then he quickly passes, and
Very
I'm
quickly.
really confused on that one. Now I reckon it is a big take, believe it or not, because of the structure, right? I only actually win that like 61% of the time because I'm still kind of hemmed in on the other side. My guess is that he was just trying to wear me down. I guess he just didn't want to give up 4.
So now a 2-1.
So I split. I actually don't know that that's. Yeah, actually is correct by a hair, but I wasn't sure if it was right.
And a double 2, he makes the default play, making the 2 points. And now 3-2.
Yep, which is blocked. And I bring 2 down. I don't want to bring the guy to the 20.
Right.
Because I don't want to get pointed on.
Now 5-2 for black.
Would not have happened. So here, I think he splits with the 2 and comes down with the 5.
The white does have 11 checkers in the zone, but only 2 of them are bearing on the 3-point. So 6-2
Yes.
make the 4 points.
So I just make the 4. And I feel like with the lead, I'm not, I'm kind of just playing it a little bit more cautious. Double 5.
Double 5. It's a good roll for black.
Absolutely.
I think he'll want to make his 3-point and at least hit loose. Can't move the back checkers.
Yeah. So 3-point and hit.
Now he has a strong position with a 3-point board. Checker
very
on the
nice.
bar.
And then I'm just kind of surveying the scene, and
Double 3.
So here, I think this is my second really big mistake of this match, where I believe I get doubled here and I take, and I think it's a pass. Is that right?
We'll look at it later.
He misses a cube. Okay, that's right. I
He
think
rolled on. Now 3-1. He makes his 5-point. Double 2. Comes in.
Strong. Yeah, very nice.
9-point. That's pretty clear. And 6-4 is the best last one.
Yep.
Making that 9-point really blocks that checker on the 22-point. Now 4-1 for black.
So he just makes the
bar point. Solid 5 prime, very
Yes.
strong asset.
I'm like shaking very
Very good. Double
heavily.
4.
Yeah, and I mean here I just make the 5 point, right?
5 point is automatic from 9 to 5, and I
Yep.
guess that's the best one. So
Yep.
now it's somewhat of a prime versus prime.
6-1. Believe he does he do here? I don't think he dismantles. I think he just goes 13-6 if I'm remembering right. But I
That
could be
makes
wrong.
sense with a stronger
Yeah.
board. And then the other thing is if he plays 24-18, he's gonna have to break his midpoint. That's a lot of blots.
Yeah, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think he plays to the 6.
The other
I don't think
alternative
he
is
clears
breaking the
that 7.
bar, but that breaks the 5 prime.
Right, and I believe he hangs on to it. It's just too strong an asset. Now the alternative is you could argue once the ace point's slotted, you want to make it, but he would rather just make it with that check.
Right. With the 5 prime is more important right now. Now
Yes,
with the 6-3, you can point on head.
it's a great shot.
Yep. Now some of the escaping 6s are duplicated.
Yes.
5-1. So he enters and probably
Has
gonna
to
make his ace
make
point.
it,
Yeah, he's
that's
not
fair.
gonna come
Yep.
under the gun.
So, okay, I now remember how this one goes, right? So let's see. Yeah, I roll 5-2, which is nothing spectacular. Yep, he's sort of primed in, I'm kind of primed in. So we both sort of
4-1.
realize. Does he just up the back?
He can slot the back of the prime. He can break his bar point.
If I remember right, I think he does slot the back. It's just the strongest play. I mean, if he gets missed,
And 6-4 and 6-2 are duplicated on the other side to make it.
yes. And I don't hit 5-1. And then I think this is where he just has like this really, he sends like a beautifully thought out cube. Coming up, like it's not quite yet.
6-3. That's a great roll.
Yeah, so
So
he's
60
gonna
comes out.
get kind of going here.
And 8-5, he cannot hit and escape at the same time, which would be two
Right.
good things.
Yes. And then all right, so right on. Okay,
Right.
now this is the really interesting spot. It's gonna come right up here. He does come in,
4-2, 4-2.
right?
And
Yes.
now
And then I believe I hit him loose with like a 5-1 or something. Yeah.
5-1, exactly.
Yes. And then this cube I thought was just brilliant when he offers it. So he's gonna offer me the cube here. And I'm sitting here and I thought this was just like amazingly good. And I'm like reacting physically to it. Where first off, if he dances, I might just crack anyway. And that's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
be
what they think about the second roll of the sequence, the market loser. It's not the first.
yeah. So I said, I mean, am I really gonna pass this? I got him up against a 5-point board. And if he dances and I do roll a 6, I mean, I've got something. I mean, cover though is gonna be the other issue. But I said, I don't think this game is that far gone. Now he rolls a
Wow,
pretty good number, and I'm now
perfect.
a little bit,
6-2.
yeah, a little bit sick on it. But I said, there's still some play here.
Yeah.
And I think I fanned for a while. And I think this was actually a small pass, if I remember right. No, it was barely a take. So it was right on the edge,
2-1.
like 0.01.
2-1. And now Double
Still
six dance.
dancing away.
Now Kit rolls a 6-1, comes into a 6-point. Nice place to have a spare checker. Double six again.
Yeah, just
Using all your double
fanning,
sixes.
fanning
4-3.
away.
Does he pre-clear? I think he puts those checkers on the right points.
Yes.
Spares everywhere. Double six does leave a shot.
Yeah.
4-1. Dance. 4-3. So he's going to volunteer the 6-2. Because
Yep.
otherwise,
Ooh.
that's the 4 and looking at the 3 that way. That doesn't leave any
He
shots.
does this. I don't. Oh, he does. Okay.
Double fives and double sixes and 6-5 are safe. Those are the rolls you want to look at. 4-2. So comes in and plays 6-2.
Yep. So just, I'm happy to be in at this point. I have some running save and, I could rebuild the point. I've got a couple numbers to do that, maybe get out. So it's not totally hopeless yet. Yep. And I'm
6-2.
happy to
Yep.
just get a spare moving for sure. Just any sort of movement there is great.
Double five.
And now I'm like sweating a bit. So,
Those two are forced.
yep. And I think I believe he rips, if I remember right, because I remember being in like severe gammon duress. And I think it is right for him to do that. I think it's very clear. So now pressure's on. 5-2.
Yep.
Just bring it around.
All the way.
Yep.
Now 6-4 would be terrible. No 6-4.
Nope. He
2.
doesn't cooperate. He just clears the rear point here. It's
Clear the
just too
rear.
neat to pass up.
It's cocked.
Yep. Yep.
2-1.
Yeah,
Great.
I'm like thrilled. I get to make the board. It's like perfect.
All right. Now there are a lot of numbers, 6 numbers that leave a shot.
He does roll 6-5, I think. Yep.
6-5.
Yes.
And now with a 2.
Pressure.
9 checkers, so he's taken off 6 checkers.
And I get it.
6-2. Hits the shot. So now he has 6 checkers off.
Yeah, so I was really not certain here. I knew for a while, right? So I thought about it. There's nothing that's going to gain my market yet. So I can always just roll for free here and kind of think about it as this is going on. Because even if I miss a cube, it would probably only be about a 0.001 or something like that. Like it's not a very volatile situation in terms of market gain. Or loss, right? So I just kind of realized that, and I said, we'll evaluate it, we'll think about it, see what our spare distribution ends up being, and we can try for it later on. So
for money with 6 off, you want at least 1 off,
yes,
unless he has a bad distribution to redouble. Now in the lead, holding a 2 cube, you have to be more careful because he can redouble to 8 if he rolls something good like an immediate double 6 from the bar.
Yep.
Now.
And I kind of realize I'm like, I know I need to have at least 1 checker off before I can even consider it. And now I'm sitting there and I say, okay, now we have 2 off and the distribution is a little bit better. I mean, this isn't like perfect, but it's a spare on the high point. I can probably clear the 6, maybe put checkers where I want. And if he dances, it's probably going to be a little bit closer. So now I'm like really reaching into the tank, trying to figure out, can I recube this?
And black's 2 point is open.
Yeah, so that's the other thing, right? That gap kind of hurts him a bit. And I do redouble. It's actually slightly wrong. It's 0.008, no redouble.
So he takes it quickly.
Yes.
That
you
was a little
obviously make-
liability, that spare on the 5, because now you're odd.
Yes, yes. So I realized I could leave a shot here. And
No
now
shot.
I'm also realizing not only I didn't leave a shot, but now I've kind of wasted those checkers, and now they're not really in a
Efficient
spot where
place.
they're gonna
Yeah.
go too easily. I gotta lose the board faster. But
2-1, he
fortunately,
danced.
he's like cooperating with me, and he looks pretty disgusted, and I would be too.
4-3.
And
So
now I'm thinking, yeah, I'm super odd, so I really just wanted to come in and come in small, but now the race is on.
Big favorite here.
Yep. So there's just no skill to it, and I'm just trying to, I'm just hoping that this holds up. I think he does roll a set to make it kind of interesting, if
2.
I remember right. Yes.
Oh, that does make it exciting. Now 5
Yes.
checkers per player, but still you're at an advantage.
Yep, definitely. But he's brought it into the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
Of course.
Yeah, and he's kind of thinking a little bit. He kind of knows, obviously, no, but
3-1 takes off
Yep.
2 checkers. So
Yep.
now it's a non-doublet followed by double 3s or better. So 6-1. So now he needs double
yeah.
3s better, 4 numbers. And he doesn't. So that's 7-0. 4 away is a good score to be at.
Yeah, I'm feeling very good now because it's like I feel like 7-0 is a big enough spot for me to overcome the skill difference.
Yeah.
So I felt pretty good about my chances.
Now, this is the FTH board who sponsored the tournament. What was it like playing on this board? It looks like
I actually liked this board. A lot of people, I think they switched the checkers out to red ones later on after this match, but I actually liked it. It played pretty smooth.
Yeah.
And it was just a nice board. So
the red checkers are easier to see on the streaming. People
Definitely.
requested that.
Yeah.
I think when you're playing, it's a little bit different, but on the streaming. Also, we talked about white dice on a dark field. So now 4-3 at 4 away, 11 away. And this will probably be the last game of the first part of this video. We'll do the second half of the match in a different video due to time constraints. But now we have a 6-1, makes the bar point. Now Kit's on roll. 5-2.
5-2, he knows, hit me off the high point, bring the builder down.
Now the trailer can double pretty aggressively here to 2 because the leader, white, cannot redouble to 4 because if he redoubles to 4, the trailer is going to automatically redouble to 8. So it's very hard to redouble.
Yes.
That's one thing to think about. So now he has a 5-3 to play. He's going to come in with the 5 and hit and lose.
Yes. And I think this was a nice play. It kind of unstacks. It comes in where he wants to, ties my hand up. Can't use the builder on the 9, which is pretty important. And then I roll 3-3, which is just beautiful.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Comes in, hits, points on head, and 1 more 3.
I just bring it down.
Yep, another checker in the zone. 4-3. Now white has to be careful at doubling at 4 away too.
Yeah, so I can't give any. I can't even consider it, right? I mean, it's tempting, but it's way too early. So this was not obvious to me, and I think. Did I play this wrong? Let me look real quick.
5-4 looks good, but there is the possibility of the double shift. I think that just gives up too much. Just 6-4.
Yeah, I just make it, and this is right.
Yeah. Looks right. You don't want to hit loose or create a gap. You have a nice, strong, solid 4 prime.
Yes.
6-4, he dances.
Yeah, so I'm happy.
Money, this might be a cube, but the score, Now
Yeah.
you shift.
Right, so my thinking now is I just don't want him to make the double anchor. And I
Yep.
could have made a nice 5', but I think that this is actually a good idea.
Better, yeah. So yeah, anytime when you're playing against a proto back game, preventing the second anchors is very important, because the second anchor gives the defender, black in this case, a lot more winning chances.
Absolutely.
You just deprive them of that. So
Yes.
3 dances.
And he comes to a dance, and I'm still not even close to a cube. This 3-1, I think I just anchor and see, now that I'm curious about, that might be lift. That seemed, oh, no, I did play it right. Okay.
Now
Good
double 2.
job past me. And yeah, he does get his anchor.
He
So
does get it. The 1-4 game is nice when the opponent owns the 10 point, because 6s like that are blocked. So now 6-4.
yes. All right. And then let's see, what do I do here?
You shouldn't be too scared about abandoning the anchor here.
You know what? I think I end up, and I kind of see that now. It's like if I maybe had hopped off there and made that 9, it would have been nice. The thing that's interesting is this is actually the right play. It's
Okay.
virtually tied. See, now I'm looking at it and I feel like it just seems very, very stiff.
Now
It's a close
6-2.
play. So 6-2, I think I just slot it. I kind of realize it's not, neither one of these blots is really in that much duress. He would have to give up a lot to hit with a 6, and he doesn't really want to hit with the 1 either.
Right. But a 6-1.
Yeah, and that one is pretty good.
Yeah.
Can hit.
Happy to abandon both.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So now I've got 2 up in the air, and it's a whole new game basically after that exchange.
Now he has outfield control and he rolls a 4-1. He's going to come out and anchor.
Yes, so now he can just make the 23 point and hop out, and I can't really hit the guys out there unless it's with a really long range shot. And this is pretty unfortunate in a lot of ways, because I kind of have to give up that priming structure and switch to here, put the spare where I don't really want it. And
But you can make a solid 4' with a 4-point board.
yeah, that's true. I mean, I come up to the 20, which I'm
Double 6 for black.
yeah, so now this is like
Now he's going to be
massive
able to
change
double
in the game.
soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing to think I was playing against a back game like 3 turns ago.
Yeah, that's what happens.
So I rolled this set of aces. I wasn't 100% sure on how to play this. It's very, very nebulous position with the just the number of options that I have, right? So trying to think back to what I do. I think I probably would slot 2 because I want to at least start the next point. And then I'm counting, which is a good thing to do.
So it's 135 for white. You want to see if you're behind, you'll keep that goalkeeper back. If you're ahead, you won't.
Yes, and that's good. So I can see here, and this is how I do it. I'm gripping the points. I had a finger on the 13 and I had another
And
on
you're
the
ahead
5. And I had it, yeah.
by like 5-10 pips or so.
Yep. So I said I'm still leading, so I can just try to break contact.
3. About 8 pips. Now he's considering doubling.
So he has to be pretty aggressive with the cube. He doesn't double here, he's shaking, but This
5-3.
is a nice shot. He gets to make the point right in front of me, so he gets the 10.
So now the
Now
race.
I'm like kind of just hemmed in a little. 6-3. There's no available 6. So I just get to play the 3. It's fine.
So now white is up by 3 pips in the race here.
Yes, but it's not easy to turn this into a race, right? And I'm also liable to just crack. Well, I mean, I guess, you know, 5s are not going to play well for quite a while with the spares out there. On top of that, I'm not going to be able to use some of my numbers. So I rate to fall behind in the race, right? But on the other hand, if I do spring a guy out with some kind of 4, I am still leading in the race. And the position doesn't have a ton of gammon yet, I don't think. So I felt like it was a pretty safe take. If I've got a little bit of a race lead, I'm not really getting gammoned all that often. I kind of reckon I can just take. So
And he's gotta clear his prime soon.
yeah,
So we will have
yeah.
a chance to escape some of the checkers.
Yep.
Now 6-3.
Yeah, so this one, I don't remember. He wants to keep the back guy there for
Protection.
goalkeeper, basically.
Double 4 would be nice here. Double 5.
5. So we kind of like talked about it where the 5s just don't play very well at all.
And now your 5s and 6s are killed partially, except
Yep.
for 5-4 and 6-4.
Yes.
Now 6-2.
And
Now 6-5. That's a dance.
nothing moves. So yeah, so even though I was ahead in the race, right, the 6-5, I don't get to use any of that. So it's just a wasted roll.
Right. So now 5-4 would hit, straightening out, making sure you can
Yes.
get there.
And I think
Double 4.
yeah, I roll 4-4. Kit shakes his head, and I just know. I mean, it's
That's a great racing number.
yeah, it's just great to
What's
get
the
out of
racing
there.
number?
I know I'm ahead from the previous counts, or at least it's
87.
very close. And I'm holding the cube. So if I get far enough ahead, I can always end it. I take a quickie count here just to make sure I have the right, just to make sure.
87 to 107, 20 pips ahead.
Yeah. Now, the big question for me is, what do I need at this score to redouble? So I kind of am trying to reach for Kleinman count here, and I could not remember for the life of me what the K values were. So I guess with Kleinman count, there's something where you calculate a value for a variable K. And based on that, different numbers translate to different winning percentages. So this is like a multi-pronged problem because I have to figure out, one, what I need to double, what percentage in this race I need in order to actually double. Then I need to figure out what percentage I have. So it's 2 steps. So I spend a fair amount of time thinking this over. And I just, for the life of me, I couldn't figure out what values for K using Kleinman's racing formula, which I highly recommend, actually translated to value I would need in order to give the recube.
So the
So
things you want to look at when you're doubling is your gain and your risk. So if you do not double and win, you get to 2 away.
right, which is
You
pretty
left-
good.
Yeah. If you double and win, you're 100%. Now you have to do the same thing with doubling and losing and not doubling and losing, taking into account that it's an automatic redouble.
Yes.
So now 4-3, he wants to keep his checkers back,
Yep.
and he's going to slot both points.
Correct. And that's the thing, is the cube doesn't stay on 4. So there's kind of like the implied odds is what I kind of call it, where it's going to go on 8 and you have to factor that in.
6 brings it in with a 6-4.
Yeah, I was happy to kind of have that freedom, and it's a nice big roll. So
3-1.
good.
Small roll for him.
And
I
back
was
to
going to keep
thinking.
So yeah, if you don't double and lose, he has 2 points. But if you do double and lose, he's going to have 8 points. He'll be 3
Right.
away, 4 away. That's a big difference. So
Yes.
that's a big risk.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm really reaching in here. I mean, I'm not gonna count it. I'm gonna be a little bit.
So I learned all these odds by reading Kit Woolsey's book, How to Play Tournament Backgammon, which was written many years ago, but it's still an outstanding book. Do you have that book?
I do actually, yes, which is
It's a
kind
good
of
book.
funny
I think I
playing
might have it right here, actually.
playing this
I
guy.
keep it right on my desk. You can't see it, but
Oh yeah, there it is. Yes.
it is. So this is the book where I learned to how to
Analyze
play those odds.
these.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't cube here, and I kind of realize I need a lot. I mean, like you said, right? I mean, if I end up losing this game somehow, I'm gonna be losing the match 8-7. And I go from a commanding position here where I'm 7 points ahead in an 11-point match. I'm somewhere around like 85%, just as it stands now, right? So to go from 85% to being a dog, right? I would certainly like to avoid that situation. So I'm really just trying to pull whatever I can to figure out what I need. And I eventually realized that I'm not there. And I really am. And Kit also looks like he's like trying to reach for something. I mean, I think we're both just trying to remember exactly what it is and what we need, and I just shake the dice and go. And 5-4 is a good racing number. It's above average, so I clear all contact. And then he rolls poorly, right? So I had figured I was close last time, right? So I start to think again. And here's where I kind of make a mistake. And I say, what the hell? And I'm kind of like reaching for it. And I say, all right, let's go. And I recube. And it's
So
thinking
what is
about
the race? 73, 47, 52, 60,
yes,
91.
96. So I'm up 23 pips in a medium long.
And you have 3
Now
crosses
I have
to come in.
wastage though.
Yeah, with the wastage. He has a
Mhm.
nice efficient structure.
Yep. So I mean, I'm kind of sitting here and I'm thinking like, did I miss a cube or something? Because I expected him to just snatch this right up. That's what I'm thinking at this point. I thought this would be a pretty easy take. And now I'm like doubting myself from the previous roll if I had missed a double. But I'm just kind of giving him like the stare down. And he looks like he's like in agony thinking about this. I just figured, okay, well, maybe it was actually a good cube because he doesn't seem to know what to do. And I was now feeling a little bit better about it. But I'm also thinking maybe I lost my market because I do want to double him in, right? I want to get him to take something where it's like the maximum pain. It's just
Right.
hard to find that window.
And that's actually interesting that you mentioned that, because Kit Woolsey was the one who wrote the Woolsey's rule, or the Woolsey's law, which states if you're not sure it's a double, well, if it's a take or a pass, then you should for sure double. And that's called giving an efficient cube, which is right on the take pass borderline, as opposed to an inefficient cube, which is on the no double double borderline. You're making it hard for your opponent, and you're getting the maximum efficiency. You're gaining the most out of that. If you read The Theory of Backgammon by Dirk Schiemann, he goes through all of that, and you gain the most on the efficient cubes, which are on the take pass borderlines. But this one, we'll take a look, and after this game, we'll take a break, we'll stop this video, and we'll continue the rest of the match in the next video. This is a
Absolutely.
long batch, so we'll have to break it up into 2 parts.
Yep.
Looks like both players are good on time. He has plenty of time, 14.5 minutes.
Yep. And I've got about 10, so I've got about half the time bank left. So I feel pretty good. And then he passed, and I was really surprised by that, to be honest with you. And I really was doubting myself there, because now I'm thinking, did I wait too long? It turned out it wasn't a redouble, and it was a big take.
It was
So
still a take.
yeah, I was a little bit surprised. And I think, again, I think he was trying to grind me down, is my guess. I know Kit doesn't like to give up 4. So that was just what I thought. I asked him the next day what he thought about that cube. And he said at the time he thought it was right on the money. So it's just not obvious. It's hard. You know, these aren't easy positions.
No, especially with lopsided scores. When the scores are lopsided, there's a lot of math involved.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
So good. Out to a commanding 9-0 lead, 2 away, 11 away.
Yes.
Very strong. What are the winning chances at that?
So I'm leading by 9 points in an 11-point match. Now this isn't exact, but I think it's close to like 90 something percent, like 93 or so.
Yeah, strong favorite. So
Yes,
how are you feeling at this point?
pretty good. But
Yeah.
I also am thinking I've certainly lost many times from here. So I'm just thinking, let's just polish it off and just win the match and move on to the next round.
Yeah.
So this was the second round, I guess you could say, because they do
Second.
the qualifier,
Okay.
and I had already passed through that. So I had, I won the qualifier, and this was that first round after dinner. So I was just hoping to get through this and then move on to the next match.
All right. Well, very good. So that was great. The first part of this match, 9 points to Ian. I appreciate you joining me, and I look forward to doing another video doing the second part of the match.
Absolutely.
And then we also have some positions to analyze afterwards. I think that's a lot of fun because you could look back at the positions, what you were thinking about, and
Yes.
learn from there.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, do you have any final comments?
No, I'm looking forward to part 2.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
All right.
I appreciate
you.
everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.